So, Sally, joining us right now, we appreciate it. So, can you give us an update on the exact numbers of how many outages you're seeing throughout the Tri-State and where the big problem spots are?
Well, as you would imagine, everything that you're talking about occurs for us, unfortunately, up in Butler and Warren counties. Overnight, we also started seeing a lot of outages in the Claremont and Hamilton areas, and those were more the later morning storms. So I would say at this point on our system, we're hovering between 30 and 35,000 outages. And as daylight's coming up, we're certainly able to get out there and get a better assessment of just how much damage is actually out there on our system.
Sally, do you have a sense of how many live wires could be out there at any given time when you have something like this happen? I know you try to get those get everything out as quickly as possible, but when you have a tree fall on a wire, how much of that have you seen overnight?
Well, as you would imagine, with the winds that we've been seeing, a lot of this is related to vegetation and trees that are unfortunately coming down on our line. So that's definitely probably our largest issue that we've got out there this morning that we're encountering. And as you would imagine, we need to get our vegetation crews out there to safely remove that from our equipment to make sure that our crews can get in and then restore power by getting the lines back up, and certainly that takes time. So it's complicated, but by all means, we always want to urge the public, if you see any lines down, don't try and move them yourself. Make sure you're calling 911 or us at Duke Energy.
Sally, I have not heard about this many trees down since Ivan swept through. Remember that? I don't know how many years ago that was now. I remember that daytime storm that with those heavy winds.
Hurricane Ike, I think you're thinking.
Okay, that's
from
what I'm thinking of, Ike, yeah. So do you have any, am I characterizing this right, or do you have a sense of just how many trees are down?
Not numbers-wise yet. Like I said, with the sun up, that we're just starting to get the daylight and a good snapshot of what we have out there. I don't think at this point this is a storm of that magnitude by any means, but it's not uncommon for us to have derechos and wind events that are occurring in the summer months with these storms that are fairly violent and pop up. So I think ultimately it's a little bit soon for me to be able to give you a solid assessment of exactly how much damage is out there. But I think that certainly from the numbers we're seeing, and we wouldn't think that it'd be unusual for these numbers to go up once people wake up and realize they don't have power and are reporting that to us this morning. So we're definitely out there taking a look at what we have to tackle today, and we'll be working hard at that all day.
I could only imagine that. How many crews do you have out there? You mentioned vegetation crews. Obviously, you got crews trying to restore the power as well. Do you have enough manpower, if it will, or are individuals going to need to pack a bag of patience today?
Well, we definitely are in a storm mode. So for the 2 days prior, we've been getting our storm list and storm personnel in place and ready and on standby in the event we needed to bring folks in from other areas of our company to come help us. But we've definitely had people that'll be staying on longer shifts, as you would probably imagine. The first line for us is getting the assessors out this morning to see what's going on our system and what types of damage we're seeing, so that we know exactly where the harder hit areas are and where we need to focus some of those restoration efforts. But I would say we definitely are prepared and have resources that will be able to get a good hold on this, hopefully sooner rather than later.
All right, just real quickly, Sally, as we wrap up, anything else you want to add, your message to the viewers, anything you need that would help you and your crews?
I would say if you encounter our crews working out there in the field, to kindly give them a little bit of extra room. They're working in challenging conditions with these weather events that are popping up with the storms patterns that we're in, and so anytime you can give them a little bit of extra room on the road, we'd really appreciate making sure that we can keep them safe as well.
Yeah, maybe a thumbs up on the way by, because we know they're busy over the next dozen or so hours, because they have got quite a mess to clean up after the storms have ripped through the Tri-State here this morning. Sally, we appreciate the time.
You bet. Thank you.